So we are supposed to have our fresh embryo transfer on cycle day 13. That was Wednesday, but something unexpected happened to our embryo. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome and thank you very much for watching. Alright, in today's video, I'm going to share what happened to our embryo because we're supposed to have our fresh embryo transfer 2 days post-retrieval, but yeah, something unexpected happened. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Our embryo now is in the freezer and it will be transferred to me next cycle. So here's what happened. Since we are doing the natural IVF, of course, it is cheaper. We don't have to pay for the day 3 to day 5 culture because usually in natural IVF, it will be only 2-day-old embryo. So it will be a fresh transfer, but it didn't happen. So on the day of retrieval, the egg was successfully fertilized through ICSI. The following day, that would be 1 day post-retrieval, the embryo continued to develop. The mitosis or the cell division is doing well. I'm going to give you a quick information about the day-to-day development of an embryo. Day 1 post-retrieval, the normal cell division is 2. And then on the day 2 post-retrieval, the embryo should divide into 4 cells. And on the 3rd day of the embryo, it should be at least 5 to 8 cell division. And on the 4th day, I think that is the mitosis. It will continue to multiply. And then by the day 5 to day 6, it is called the blastocyst. Blastocyst is the stage wherein it is ready to implant. In natural IVF, since it is cheaper, they will not wait for the blastocyst. So 2 days post-retrieval, if the development of the embryo is very good, so the 2-day-old fresh embryo will be transferred to you. The only risk of this fresh transfer or a 2-day-old embryo is we don't know if the embryo can make it up to the blastocyst stage after the transfer. The only explanation given to me by the fertility clinic is the environment inside the uterus is much better compared to the laboratory. Anyway, they will assess if it will be 2-day-old embryo before the transfer or they will wait for the blastocyst stage. But since I paid for this natural program, they're gonna do it 2-day-old embryo. But I think I have the choice to have it cultured up to the blastocyst stage even though it's a natural cycle, but I have to pay for the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5 of culture, and that is very expensive, I think. So because in this natural cycle, I didn't pay anything for the ICSI, day 1 and day 2 culture. And I'll just pay additional 150 pesos if we achieve the positive pregnancy. I think that 450,000 is for the culture. So yeah, the explanation of the doctor, the environment inside the uterus is much better compared to the laboratory, but still it is a case-to-case basis. It will still depend on the egg quality. The embryologist said it really depends on the egg quality. If you really have a good quality of egg, then we don't have a problem. So day 1 post-retrieval, we didn't receive a call from Kato. We're so happy because no call means good development of the embryo. Here comes Wednesday. That was 2 days post-retrieval. And that is supposed to be our transfer day. The fresh embryo will be transferred to me. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So the clinic advised us to call on Wednesday morning before leaving the house. I called at 8 o'clock in the morning Wednesday. The embryologist said the cell division of the embryo is still 2 cells. So 2 cell division. So they are waiting for it to divide into 4 and they gave us until 2 p.m. Since we're 3 hours drive away from the facility, They advised us to wait there in the clinic because the embryo will divide anytime. At least we are already there. We are ready just in case. We arrived at around 2 p.m. and they informed us that the embryo is still a two-celled embryo. So we were so sad. We were praying and hoping that within that day, the embryo will continue to develop. And here comes the 2 p.m. The embryologist called us. He talked to us. He said the embryo is still in two-cell division. And since it is already 2 p.m., they advised us to wait for a few days, and then they will inform us what is going to happen. They are going to observe the embryo if the development will continue, because the worst thing that may happen is the embryo will stop dividing. The development of the embryo will not continue. Those are the cases. So he said we still have until tonight. Let us see if it will continue to multiply. So we went home with a heavy heart because we were really expecting that the fresh 2-day-old embryo will be transferred to me on that day, but it didn't happen. The next day, 3 days post-retrieval, that was Thursday, I called the clinic and I talked to the embryologist. She said that our embryo made it into 5 cells, so I was really happy. I'm trying to be positive, and at the same time I am being realistic because I'm thinking, what if the embryo stopped the development? So at least I am ready. But the moment that I talked to the embryologist, she said they have this tracker. The 5 p.m. of Wednesday, our embryo made it into 3 cells, and then after an hour made it into 4 cells, and then 5 cells. So they observed that the embryo was developing well, and they decided to keep it in the freezer. So our embryo now is inside the freezer. It's a 2-day-old embryo, 5-celled 2-day embryo. So yes, that embryo is waiting for me, and I will be back on my next cycle, maybe 3 weeks from now, or 3 weeks from now. Before it will be transferred to me, I need to ovulate. So I will have another monitoring. So the process will be the same. Cycle day 2, I will go back there for my baseline ultrasound, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have a hormonal test. The doctor said for me to be able to produce a natural progesterone and estrogen or estradiol, the ovary needs to ovulate. So I will be needing a monitoring. Day 2, and then probably I will be back on day 10 or day 9, and then day 12. By that time, maybe my follicle is already big and ready to burst, and then they will just continue to monitor if the lining of the uterus is ready for the transfer. So usually I will get a very good number of hormone after ovulation. So let us see. I am thinking, since I am going to pay for the monitoring day 2, day 10, and day 12, if my ovary produced a very good size of a follicle naturally, I'm thinking to have another egg collection, but I need to pay 17,000 just for the egg retrieval. No anesthesia since it is natural cycle, and then have it cultured for day 1 and day 2. So I could have 2 embryos, 1 fresh and 1 frozen. So it will be twins if both of them can make it. So let us see. So yeah, that's the story of our little embryo in the freezer right now. So if you have any suggestions or any questions, please don't hesitate to comment in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching, and if you'd like to follow my journey, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to click that bell icon so you will be notified every time I upload videos. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.